Alright, my name is Brody Himmelberg, and for my persuasive speech, I did Why America is the Best. Alright, to start us off, we'll go over some arguments against America, because obviously we're not the best at everything. So some criticisms against America is that our education system isn't the best. They say other first world countries like Switzerland and Sweden, they have better systems, their kids get better test scores, and they're just better all around. So education, for sure, people have argued that America is behind. Another argument is guns. They say America has more gun deaths than any other country, any other first world country. And we have hardly any regulations. Anyone can get a hold of a gun. It's what other countries are criticizing America for. Another thing is what's called the 1%. This is basically the richest people in America. So your super rich billionaires and all that. The top 1% of earners in America earn, I think it's about 26 times more than the lower 99%. So people have criticized it that it's not equally distributed, the money isn't. You got people in poverty starving to death on the streets, and then you got people with $50 billion buying jets and yachts and just wasting their money. For energy, America uses a ton of energy, more than any other first world country. And they say they use more than we need, it's bad for the environment, and that we should start conserving more, go to more renewable energy, all that stuff to be kinder to the environment and be an example for other countries around the world. So my counters to these arguments, to start us off with education, according to Steven Singer of Huffington Post, it's tough to compare schools between countries. I mean, in America, we don't leave kids behind. In countries like Norway and Sweden, they have private schools, and they kind of separate the kids from, separate the, top kids from the bottom kids and give them specialized curriculums so that they can really achieve to their bests. Other countries use private schools numbers so that their numbers look better. In America, we use all of the kids together. And in America, we have a much larger population and much more diversity than a lot of these countries. Norway and Sweden, their populations are way smaller. They're not very diverse. So that's kind of the counter to the education argument. Next is guns, and for guns, of course, we're more likely to have gun deaths because guns are legal here. People can get a hold of guns they can't in these other countries. But because there's more gun deaths here doesn't mean that murder rates are higher. In other first world countries, there's higher murder rates. They just don't use guns to do the murders. They find other methods like stabbing, stuff like that. So when people say the United States has the most gun deaths, it looks bad, but in reality, other countries have higher murder rates. And for the 1%, I mean, it's bound to happen in a capitalist state such as ours. It's a side effect of how much freedom we have and how little the government controls businesses. And it's all about finding a balance. Some countries have more government control over the people, and some people like that. Some people like the freedom more, and that's what allows these 1%ers to make as much money and be so successful. And for energy, since we use so much energy, it kind of just shows how successful we are as a country. So many people have access to energy. All these companies are getting a hold of energy to use. We have the funds within the country. We have all this new technology getting us the energy. But obviously, we can conserve in the future, try to conserve energy, and maybe go to renewable energy if it's economically feasible, but, And another argument is America has got a beautiful landscape, right? You got your plains in the middle, you got mountains, you got your beaches on the edge. So, I mean, that's just, you can't really get that. It's cold in Norway and Sweden, right? So we're a world power, right? Other countries look to us. If there's like terrorism going on, some international thing going on, no one's going to care what Sweden and Switzerland are saying about it. No one's going to say, oh, I wonder what Sweden's going to do about this big bomb threat. So we're the most powerful country in the world, right ahead of Russia and China. So people look to us for help in situations. And finally, people still want to come here. Everyone says we're bad and we're a racist country and all that, but people are still wanting to come here. Obviously, their countries aren't as good as ours, but people still want to come here. We have opportunity, we have freedom. People can come here and make whatever out of their life they really want to. So, yeah, people still want to come here. And that is my speech.